What up, you guys? Welcome back to Pro Publications YouTube channel. It is 11 at night. I just got off a closing shift. Little tired, but we still got stuff to do. And today was a really cool day. I had time to make my way to a Barnes & Noble, and it's so crazy because the stuff you read, like especially like the stuff you read and you care about, like you really absorb it. And what ends up happening is like you look at things that you normally looked at a certain way, you look at it very differently. So like for instance, after reading this indie publishing, boom, I found myself really looking at the book design and really understanding just on another level like what the book had been talking about like design choices and what that does for like readability and like kind of how that has an aesthetic, right? And there's a certain style. All right, so for instance, I saw some really cool designs for like horror books, and like it really jumped out at me. And some of the books were not necessarily books that I would normally gravitate to or try to read, but the book design was literally made for someone like me. It literally had like, it had this whole aesthetic of like B movies from the 80s, and like it just spoke to me, and I just like I had to pick it up to watch and look. But in the end, I didn't end up buying anything. It just wasn't one of those days. You know, I was just there to see what was going on and if there was anything I wanted. There's only one book right now that's on my radar, and that's that Frank Miller book. So like I follow Frank Miller on Instagram, and then the book popped up. And I want to say it's being released by Frank Miller Presents, which is cool to see that they're still publishing stuff. But I want to see it. And it's called Frank Miller Push the Wall. And I cannot wait to see this book in real life. And here's the tagline. It says, "Push the Wall is a masterclass in the art of storytelling and an intimate look inside the mind and life of a creative genius. With over a dozen illustrations chosen from seminal moments from Miller's art and organized by the 16 lessons that meant most to Miller, it reveals the man behind some of the most exciting stories of our age. Miller changed the course of comics, Rolling Stones. Probably the finest piece of comic art ever published, Stephen King on the Batman, The Dark Knight Returns. Frank Miller is doing his daredevil magic. His weird, scary New York made me want to write. Colson Whitehead." So definitely this is probably the only one that's on my like I want to get this radar. The book length is 240 pages. It is a 6x9 book size, and I'm just waiting for that to drop, man. And that's going to be the one that I'm going to go ahead and grab. So if you didn't know that was out, I'm glad to put that on your radar, because you know, I'm a Frank Miller fan. I would love to see the process. You know, I have no heroes or no masters, but like I definitely dig his work, and I've liked the way he's telling stories. Definitely am interested in just what are those lessons and what did he learn and how did he learn it, and then just you know, peeping that out. Even if his style of making doesn't necessarily like coincide with my style of making, it doesn't hurt to just chew it over, right? I always think about like, I'm a fan of Kirby, but the way Kirby worked, like he focused so much on the pencils, and then I don't. I'm more of the Charles Schutz kind of route of like using the pencils almost as a way of blocking the panel and knowing what's going to go where, and then really finding the drawing and the inking. But yeah, that's the book that's on my radar. But beyond that, man, let's keep it going with this Inktober thing. And today, when I was thinking about the prompt, it's heavy, and I considered and I thought, like, I don't think I've ever drawn Bender. And as a big Matt Groening fan, as a fan of Futurama, it surprised me actually when I thought about it. Of like, I cannot remember a time that I've drawn Bender, and so I think today's gonna be that day. So let's go ahead and throw down that real quick. Man, and that's it, you guys. That's the whole night. It's been a long day for sure. But now I just get to just sit down, relax on the couch, and just edit some videos, right? Gotta edit some TikToks as well as edit some YouTube video. And beyond that, I'll pack the orders tomorrow, man. I'm too tired to pack them today. But beyond that, you guys, as always, man, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Will be a link in the show notes to take you to the website that is back up. And beyond that, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Lates.